Hello everyone, I'm very happy to be here to share my research. My study is about design and research of resource recycling service system in tourist attractions. The rapid development of traditional tourism has seriously affected the ecological environment of tourist attractions. The high-density use of land, water pollution has affected the living patterns of local residents. The existence of these problems has accelerated the overexploitation of tourism resources in tourist attractions and affected the ecological balance of tourist attractions. Based on the exhaustion and non-renewability of tourism resources, this paper designs the resource recycling service system, which is based on the theory of a circular economy and sustainable development. This article will take a number of cases as an example to study the operation of the circularity system in different places. Reasonable classification of domestic garbage, reuse of food, water resources, and other wastes, so that China's tourism industry in the process of construction and development not only promote economic growth, but also in line with the sustainable development design. At present, there is still a lack of systematic research and analysis on the development of a circular tourism project in domestic tourist attractions. In general, it is still in its infancy, and its concept is only scattered in ecotourism and public green consumption. It is not enough to use the existing concepts to guide and practice tourism development of tourist attractions, especially the research on the development of different types of tourism projects. In the tourist season, due to the excessive carrying of tourists, traffic congestion and garbage are everywhere in the tourist attractions, which will increase the pressure in the region in the absence of control. For example, after the end of Golden Week in 2008, the original landform of Dansha was trapped by tourists like Figure 1. The beautiful flowers were stepped on the ground. The garbage in the Ermei tourist attractions would fall in the mountain, like Figure 2. The resources recycling service system is inseparable from the tourist attractions management. So the resource recycling system should be taken into account when planning in the science area. Next, I'm going to talk about the research on the recycling model of tourism resources. The first one is models and characteristics of international cruise resources processing. As cruise ships are floating cities on the sea, many cruises lines were joined the Save the Waves Protection Project, and through 6RE, reduce, reuse, rethink, recycle, and reclaim and repurpose. They have classified and treated household garbage in detail to maximize the utilization rate of resources. And this is the disposal of cruise waste. They will throw the combustible rubbish into the blue bin, and the glasses in the grey bin, the metals in the green bin, and food in the yellow, and drug in the red, and oil in the black. And this is the different method for the different wastewater. For example, the green water is they will use the boiled film filter to dispose of it, and the yellow water is use the filter. The black water is the filters and the bacteria. And the waste treatment areas of the cruise include incinerator area, waste sorting and storage area, waste cold storage room. Combustible waste will be crushed between incineration and then incinerated in the incinerator areas. Unclassified garbage will be classified in the classification area and storage in the storage area. Classification and treatment of wastewater. And this is the models and characteristics of Orange Island resources processing. Now, after investigating the garbage disposal center of the Orange Island scenic reserve and the health status of the tourist attractions, it was found that the garbage in the tourist attractions composed of the following 4 parts: food, plastic, paper products, and other garbage generated by tourists outside of the tourist attractions. Plant waste, kitchen waste, and other disposable waste generated by the service industry. Paper waste generated by the office in the tourist attractions. And about the case, I have a small summary. According to the above case study, most of China's tourist attractions are connected to the external geographical location relative to the cruise ship. Although space is limited, the continued external connection allows it to accommodate more visitors. At the same time, the flow of tourists has also brought about a rapid increase in garbage. Because the cost of garbage stored was far exceeded the simple incineration and landfill, the general scenic spot does not have the ability to dispose of the garbage. At present, cruises are the majority of tourists of North America and Europe. Most of the tourists are middle class, with an annual income of 100,000 to 200,000 US dollars. In 2018, the Orange Island scenic area received a total of 7.38 million tourists. From the data of tourists in most scenic spots in China, it can be seen that the overall income and quality of cruise tourists are higher than those of domestic scenic spots, and the environmental awareness is strong. And next, I will talk about the system design of scenic ecological environment. This system takes the government and tourist attractions as its leading role, and cooperates with culture and creative enterprise, catering enterprise, accommodation companies, and internet companies to integrate green design, green production, and green purchase, green use, and recycling into all links. The negative impact on the scenic environment and other aspects is minimized, ensuring the rational use of resources, the normal circulation of natural systems, and the right of human survival. The United Nations Framework for Climate Change defines a carbon footprint as a measure of the total amount of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases released in human activities or accumulated throughout the life cycle of a product or service. The Orange Island scenic area is currently constructing the Orange Island Smart Cloud Platform. In the process of building a smart tourist attractions, the tourist attractions can cooperate with relevant internet companies such as Alibaba to improve the carbon footprint of tourists by using the behavior of tourists in the tourist attractions to encourage tourists to classify the garbage. And this is a relationship between various stakeholders in the scenic spot. The first is the government. The government plays a leading role in model building. the government plays a decisive role in the protection and promotion of all aspects of the entire stack model. The second is the tourist attractions managers. Scenic areas managers play a major role in model building, responsible for the ecological environment construction, contact facility maintenance, service quality management, coordination of various activities, and emergency handling of transport. The third is methods. The methods are the main body of implementation in the eco-environment model. For example, people with a high degree of education are more able to understand the meaning of waste sorting and are willing to start garbage sorting from their own. Garbage disposal manufacturers are the fourth one, and the construction of the cycle requires the construction of infrastructures such as compensation plants and biomass fuel plants, the later research and development, service and training requires a standard process, and the ecological cycle can be smoothly cycled. And the fifth one is enterprises. Enterprises is a strong spot in the eco-environment model. As a social role with certain economic strengths, enterprises have the responsibility to contribute their own resources to the recycling of resources. And the last one is the designer. The designer plays an important role in propaganda and guidance in the planning of the science spot, guiding the tourist to classify the garbage and also considering the design of the later garbage recycling process. And the final one is the conclusion. This paper studies the service model of the tourist attractions resources recycling system and analyzes its application in the tourist attractions management. There are three aspects of the conclusion. First, the construction of the service model of the scenic resources recycling system requires the government's support and actively guide all partners to participate in the green construction of the tourist attractions. Second, the stakeholders involved in the construction of the tourist attractions need to comply in various fields. The policy of green production and resource recycling. Third, the waste treatment systems of the tourist attractions can learn from foreigner advanced treatment method and improve with the local characteristics. And for the future, as China does not have a complete system for the research on the recycling of scenic resources, this paper is still not deep enough in the research on the feasibility and negative impact of the post-scenic resources recycling system. These need to be applied, verified, and implemented in practice. And nowadays, the concepts of smart city and smart scenic spots are gradually become reality and deepening into the life of the masses. Therefore, the scenic spot management organization should actively cooperate with domestic advanced internet technology companies to establish an ecological cycle of government, enterprise, scientific research institutions, tourist and natural resources systems. And this is the end of my topic, and thanks for your attention. Thank you.